you've got everybody in the whole company trying to squeeze in the room because it never works. It just never works. So I think that you've hit something on the head. I think that, when you get involved in these big projects and when it comes to project management, like you said, as we're going agile, as we're including iterative processes and procedures into the way we do things, one of the faults that I find with traditional project management and always have for years is that, someone says, okay, this is the kickoff point. We've got our charter. Here are your roles. Sometimes they even go as far as doing a racy matrix, which even if they don't, I do one myself.
Yeah, those are things.
No,
Yeah,
because
those are definitely things that BAs do with ease.
Right. It's easy. It's fine. But what I always find out with the traditional project management is they never leave time for any of the pre-project work that needs to be done. That does not fit into, I guess, the traditional model of how you say, how you say when a project starts or when it completes. Now, I always put that in mind because there are certain things you need to know before you can even start doing any work. But
so elaborate on that, because I mean, in defense of those project managers, they are scoping in the beginning, and before they, the charter is developed, you'll see some scoping going on, and they'll collaborate before the kickoff to make sure that they have all the stakeholders involved, and those are the requirements from stakeholder all the way to like what the goal of this project is going to be about. So explain to me, like, what do you mean by the pre-work?
Well, so like you said, before the project is really kicked off, a lot of people are running around trying to determine what the scope is as quickly as possible, because they believe that once they have the scope, it is very easy to extrapolate the endpoint once they know what that is. Unfortunately, a lot of us work in environments where things are not very well documented. There's a lot of tribal knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge that lives in people's heads. So if you are a project manager and you are not familiar with that kind of thing, you're trying to scope something out, but you don't know that there's certain information that only lives in one place, or there's only a certain person who has access to it. Or there's only a certain person who understands it. And of course, all of these are single points of failure, and you want to eliminate them as soon as possible. But from a pragmatic standpoint, you can't always do that. And so when they don't leave time for the pre-work, I like, some people refer to it as the pre-project analysis. Some people have other terms for it, but it's really just the work that needs to be done, not only to figure out who needs to be at the table, but to try to find out what those little oddities are that need to be accounted for. Because it's those oddities, more often than not, that throw a kink in the deliverable schedule. And I don't know if you've experienced that or not. I have plenty of times.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things that I would say that in project management you could, and this has been a topic throughout the internet as well, when they have paralysis on analysis, and that just doesn't happen with BAs. That happens with project managers too. You could literally overanalyze the hell out of a project till it's decline. And I gathered this, but I put the lag in there to make sure that we have some room and to develop this, that, and the third. And I think we're so caught up in the intricacies of following the method that That's why the waterfall is so impacted by change. And now PMI is, they actually have their own form of agile, or they give a certification to talk about those different frameworks under agile, and now everybody's doing it because